All right. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a terrific weekend. So the month of March has ended, and to sum it all up in a few words, it was probably February is pretty slow too, but it's probably the second slowest month I've ever had in a while. So actually, probably ever. Partly because I was doing only pre-market trading for the first the first 3 weeks of March. I was only trading pre-market because I was trading for a new job. So that was up to the 21st. I was trading just pre-market, which, the goal when I was just trading pre-market was just to get small green, make a few trades, and eat my breakfast and get out the door. Which it worked okay, but overall the market was just pretty slow. So when I was doing that in February, I had some small red days, some small green days, and then a lot of small green days in the beginning of March. We actually had some pretty decent momentum in the beginning of March. There was a couple of stocks that did pretty well in the beginning of March. I just wasn't there to trade it, but on the days that were something so convincing pre-market that I knew would have a move right at the open, I would actually squeeze out just like 1 or 2 minutes from like 9:30 to 9:32, and actually just be a couple minutes late for training. And actually on this day it worked out so well. I was pretty much plus only like $20 on the day, and I was like, this stock looks so good. Ocea. I think it was Ocea, right? Looks like I traded UNCY as well. So yeah, it was Ocea. It was just picture perfect setup. Too bad I don't have it recorded, but it was a picture perfect setup. And I was like, you know what? This just looks so good. It's definitely going to be monetarily worth it if I can just squeeze out 1 or 2 minutes and just be a couple minutes late for training, but just squeeze out 1 or 2 minutes of trading right at the open. And I made an extra $150 in like 2 minutes, and it was so worth it. And I remember on that day, like, I don't know, I just felt really good. It's been a long time since I had a nice solid trading day that having that day just, I don't know, just felt really good. Those days where just everything is just in a flow state, everything's just perfect, and you're just reading the charts so nice, and it seems like every trade that you make you're green on, and those days are like, when you do have them, which aren't often, they're just like, you feel like a god, you feel like a magician. And you do so well in the markets. But let's go through this day here on March 9th. So March 9th, let's pull up March 9th here. Oh wow, so it looks like it doesn't allow me to go. Okay, here we go. Now it goes back to, that's 30 days. I'm going to need 90 days. It doesn't give me the 1 minute chart anymore after a certain time period. That's interesting. So let's just do it this way. So okay. So yeah, this is Ocea pre-market chart. It was actually really nice. 450 up to 750 pre-market. That was small green, and it started grinding up even higher, all the way up to 9 pre-market. So that's 100% move pre-market, and that's what you'd like to see when you want to start getting aggressive, when you start wanting to push that size, and which I will go over what happened on Friday. But for now, just focusing on Ocea, like, this is what you want to see for like momentum, and it was great. Right at the open, before the open, we popped up another 50 cents. And I was ready for the pullback. We had some people that were calling for just a pullback in the Discord, maybe to like 870, 860 before a rip. But, we just had a 100% move. I was thinking we were going to see a bigger dip, at least, something a little bit more extreme because of profit taking at the open. We're up 100%. So I was a little patient at the open. I wonder if it will show my trades. Okay, yeah. So I was a little patient at the open, and we dipped all the way down to 8. Looks like I was getting fills at as low as 830. So accumulating at 830 is pretty much the low of this candle, taking profits on the quick little pop on the intraday candle, on the intra-minute candle within that same minute, taking profits 860s, 851, 840s. I got a fill at 892. Okay. So that 1 minute volatility right at the open, nice quick scalps, like holding for just a few seconds on that first opening candle. I do really well on. It took me a while to get used to trading that first 1 minute candle, just really quick scalps. But there's so much volatility in that first 1 minute because it's so high volume that the candle will just go like this, and you just got to be able to read that level 2 real quick when you see a bid or when you see a flash down, a panic sell. You want to be able to accumulate for that rubber band effect, for that to come right back up. Sometimes within that same candle for 10 or 20 cents, you can make some decent profits. Here again, waiting for now we did flush, but we're still on a front side trend here. If you look at the higher time frames, this is actually technically a higher low, so we're still bullish. So this next candle opens up, and we don't really quite get that reclaim, so I'm a little bit patient now. Still sort of trading small size, waiting for that awesome setup. I did accumulate off the lows here, again at 839 and selling at 47. But once we didn't break that 9 EMA, what you're looking for in this trade, accumulating off the low of the candle. If it doesn't break the low, so your stop is the low, and then you're looking for that reclaim of this previous candle all the way back up to 9s. That's really what you're looking for as a bull here. But if you don't break that 9 EMA, you want to be able to get out, because if it comes back down, you can definitely break the low of this candle and flush another 30-40 cents. So that's kind of what we did. However, not within that same candle. We did sell off back to the lows here, and then this candle here breaks the lows, and now here we're looking for, this is like the time of the chart. Is it going to start going backside, or are we going to accumulate again? The bulls are going to accumulate and push us back to a front side trend, because we are on a higher low technically, but if this candle holds lower and continues lower, it's likely that we are going to start forming a backside trend. So I was kind of monitoring this candle here really closely, looking at the tape. I knew this was the timing of what is it going to do here? Are we just going to flush down and stop everyone out, or are we going to flip and run? So looking at the level 2, we have a high volume. We're still on high volume in this candle. Well, not as quite as high as the first candle, but still high, 548,000. This candle is 1.2 million after we ripped all the way back to the highs. But we dip all the way down to the $8. So $8 is psychological support here. And I'm looking to buy off of potential support here. I take a couple starters here at 816, so kind of anticipating that reversal move on small size. I tend to like to do that if the momentum is strong in the market. Just take like a small starter at the thesis that I'm looking to think that might happen. Taking that small starter, and if I see confirmation, I'm aggressively adding into it. And so that's how I really have those really, really good days, those days where I'm up $400, $500. is by when I notice there's hot momentum in the market, and I anticipate a bounce or I anticipate a trend reversal or a breakout. I take that starter and anticipating that will happen, and I wait for that confirmation on the tape. And once I see that confirmation, I add aggressively into it. But on the flip side, if the market is not hot and I do that, and I'm adding aggressively into confirmation that doesn't actually end up being confirmation, and I end up getting caught in a flush, those can be some very nasty days. So it's really good to make sure I'm reading the market correctly. So here I take that starter, we get that confirmation, we buy up real quickly. It's so fast, and I'm adding as it's going back up to, so I'm adding at 8:30. So as it's reclaiming this candle, flipping back green, and we rip up to like 860s, and I start taking my profits. So 840s, 850s, 830s, I start taking my profits, and way too soon. And this thing just, it stalls for a second at like 850s, 860s, and then it just flashes up to like $9, $9.20, halt up. And at this point, I'm like, all right, well, now we're halted up. You know, I wasn't holding anymore, so I took my profits off the table, and I was like, all right, I got to go to work now. So I shut it down. And from there on, it was a little bit more choppier, but we did see another move here for the highs, but we never really got that continuation. A really clean continuation, at least. But it's nice to see that we had that move in March. But this was my best day in March. So I was trading some decent share size. I was in 900 shares on an $8 stock. So that's that $7,000 position size. That's pretty decent. If I would have held all the way up to $9 at least, 70 cents a share. So let's say 70 cents a share on 900 shares. That's roughly, is that like $600? 650 bucks. So the potential was there. And I had my size. I wasn't scared of sizing up. And that's what I have to remember is like when the market is there, don't be afraid to size up and just go for it, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get out your comfort zone, is like rating that market sentiment and not being afraid to take that size when the market is there. So that was it for Ocea on that day. My best day in March, which wasn't the biggest day. It wasn't my biggest day ever, but it was a really decent day, and definitely happy that I stayed those extra few minutes. So as far as my worst day in March, this was another day where I actually stayed a few minutes, but it actually worked out the opposite way. I actually had a bigger red day, and that was on PYXS. PYXS on March 27th. So that would be, okay, and this day here, PYXS, I was going to stay because I thought we were seeing something similar to what we had in Ocea. And we started ripping right before the open, and I didn't catch any of this. I wasn't even looking at it. Someone even called it out in the Discord, and I just thought it was just going to be another gapping crap. But right at the open, we have a huge shooting star all the way up to 350, over 10% move here. And then we start selling off. I'm like, all right, this is strong. This is strong. I'm just going to accumulate the bottom of this candle. So at 315, I'm in. And then next candle just dumps even further. My risk here was VWAP and seeing this candle kind of like reclaim back to like 330s and maybe 350. That was my thesis. I was on small size, thank God, but we did dump down even farther. And I did cut my loss, and then I got back in at 3. I was like, my thesis was now holding 3 and seeing if we could see that reclaim back up to 320s and 350 for a potential continuation. And we just closed at the low of the candle. Whenever you see a candle just close like at the low of the candle and it's just high volume It's like that's your cue just to get out for now until you see a reversal sign. We go even lower, and I'm still waiting for that reversal, just that nice strong green candle back up to 330, and we just never get it. We close again near the low of the candle. We attempted it here, and then we flip back red and close to the lows. So I took it off again for a small loss. And at this point, 327. What day was that? March 27th was on a Monday. I wonder why I was trading so late in the day. I thought I had work at 10. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, I thought it was just going to take a little bit longer for it to get back to the highs to get that strong green candle. So here it's kind of like scalping the range. We're still under VWAP, so I'm just kind of looking for just quick profits. We break VWAP, then we reject it. This was actually a pretty decent fake out for me. I actually took a 3-cent loss on 1,250 shares. So that was unfortunate. And then we finally break out. I'm thinking this is going to be it. So I'm accumulating the low, 306 micro pullback, and I'm thinking we're going to go rip and take my profits at 310, and we just kept fading. Then kind of did take my 4-cent profits, although on small size. Here again, I'm thinking, okay, this could be a higher low, and we could finally see the rip. So here this is wishful thinking at this point. So I'm just small size here, but I still take a decent loss. I just kind of let it go because I'm just on small size. Just my thinking was like, all right, it's just 100 shares. I can let it breathe a little bit. Which, yeah, but like we're consolidating under the VWAP. Like you want to be having this mindset when it's over VWAP and looking to have that continuation. So this is a bear flag pattern right here. So we're consolidating under VWAP. This is bearish, and I shouldn't have actually taken this trade here at 297. I was thinking we would see this here. We break back over VWAP, quick higher of a low, and then rip higher. But we just have this huge, big ass red candle here, closing near the lows, high volume. I even bought again at 88. I don't know what my thinking was there. Closed low again, and I just cut it at 284. But pretty decent loss, I guess, on a percentage basis. Probably about a 5%, 4 to 5% loss there. So not the best, but it was on small size, so wasn't terrible. But ended up being a $70 red day, which was my worst day of the month. Though not the biggest red day I've had. It's totally manageable. So it's good that I kept it small size while I was having changes in my personal life. Definitely, yeah. If you guys are having any changes in your personal life or transitioning to a different schedule or a different location, like the past 3 months my life has been changing so much. Like I've had a job, and then I quit my job, and then I was trading full time for like 6 months, and I was doing great for 6 months. Like I was doing solid for 6 months, and the market started drying up. So then I gotta get a job, and now I'm getting a job in the end of 2022. So that was changing, and then after the job, then I was moving to a different state. So that was a huge change in my life, and then I had to find another job, and then I was training, so that was a huge change, and then going from training hours to my full-time hours, that was a huge change in my life. So a lot of changes in a short time span, and a lot of opportunity to really have it affect my trading. So it was good that I kept it small during those months of having a lot of changes in my life. But now I'm starting to get into a solid routine in my daily life. So I'm able to really trade and have those hours that I'm working during the day, and that's going to be more of like a stable routine. And so now I'll be able to really dial in and focus on trading with that stability that I get from my consistent hours of working during the day and not really having so many changes in my life. So yeah, now I'll be able to really focus on trading and dialing in with my share size. And for example, on Friday, on this stock, what was it? GMVD. I thought it was such a great setup. I thought we were going to see a good move here on GMVD. I thought the momentum was going to be back, and this just threw a wrench in everything. I'm sure people got scarred on this stock, but yeah, I was like feeling it. I was starting with a couple hundred shares trading this $3 stock on GMVD on Friday, last day of the month, and I was, decently green, and I was like starting to size up now. I was like doing 350 share increments. I was in 1,050 shares at one point, and I'm like ready to start scaling up my share size. I'm like, okay, now I'm back in the hot seat. I got everything is starting to become more solid in my routine. I got my day job. I can now focus on trading. I can start focusing on sizing up, because now that I know I have consistent income coming from another source, I don't have to worry about not making money in the markets every day. So now I'm focused on my performance in the markets, like without any sort of attachment. I can really start focusing on sizing up and not being afraid. So here I am, like ready to start sizing up. I start scaling up, and then I just get caught in an offering. Thank God it was on smaller size on this last trade here, because I was kind of waiting to accumulate a dip on like 100 shares. So I sized back down to 100 share increments, because I wanted to have like a little bit of a longer time frame trade. And it starts dumping. It just starts dumping. I'm like, all right, this is a nice sell off here. I could just accumulate lower, and it just keeps going lower and lower and lower. And I just cut everything at like 250s, or what is it, 260s. I just cut everything at 260s, and it just closes lower, halts lower, and then opens even lower. This was like a destructive sell off here. This thing had like 53% from top to bottom. It's 70% sell off. Oh my god, some people really blew up some accounts with this. I saw some pretty bad P&Ls in the Discord, but for me, I didn't get caught that bad. I was decently green before this, so that's why I only have a small red day on this day, down $17. But it was a pretty nasty trade, and that's just the market we're in. Any sort of pop in the market, these companies are ready to start selling some shares into the open market, and that's what we saw. We saw an offering. So we had like a public offering, 9 million in shares here, $9.6 million in shares, 1.8 million shares onto the market, which isn't actually that bad. So the float doesn't really change that much, only by 1.8 million. But I guess just the panic just made it sell off so much. And I'm sure we're not going to see this stock again for a while. But that was it on GMVD. After that, I pretty much called it a wrap. I tried trading IONQ. It was a larger float on Friday, and just trying to take some scalps short. I actually went scalps to the short side this time. It was easy to borrow, so I was just kind of seeing what I can do here to the short side, and I was able to get small green to kind of chip away that loss, but didn't really have any huge home run trades. But yeah, that was it. March was a pretty slow month for me. Now that I am situated in my like a solid schedule now, a solid stable schedule that I will be in for a while, I can really focus and dial in on my trading and really get back to that share size. The first goal is just to get back to that share size that I was at but I also has to be at the right market. I'm not going to size up when I could just get caught in a 70% flush public offering and blow up my account. So that's also, I got to be aware of that. It's got to be the right market. Got to wait for the cycle to shift again. When the cycle shifts, I definitely got to focus on just busting through those mental barriers to really size up to that next level that I feel like I've been working on for the past like 6 months, but just so many things have been changing in my personal life that I just didn't really have that risk-taking ability or risk profile to really take that extra risk to level up my share size, because I was relying on the markets to make money every single day. It's because I was relying on the markets and I had to be green every day. I was like being a little bit too afraid to take risk, because even if I was up only $100, I was like, all right, I got to take it off the table. Like, this is $100. This will pay for this. This will pay for that, whatever. And I'm like, got to be grateful for that. And I don't want to risk it into the next trade. So that was really my mindset the past few months. So now that I have that stable job now, outside of the market hours, my trading hours between 7 to 11. So I work after 11, from 11 to 7. So now that I have that stable job there, that'll pay for all my bills and my my life, I should be able to, in theory, really dial in on my trading and focus on my psychological barriers that are preventing me from really taking that risk, because I am a profitable trader. I've been a profitable trader for maybe about a year and a half. I've been a profitable trader consistently on a monthly, weekly basis. So my skills are there, my statistics are there. The only thing holding me back is myself. It's only going to be my mind here that is holding me back from really sizing up and having those really nice days, those 1K plus days that I'm really shooting for. That's the only thing that's holding me back right now. It's just my mind. So just got to keep working at that. And when I start to feel resistance in myself from taking that big share size, when the market is there, when the momentum is there and I'm in a flow state, when I feel that resistance from taking that bigger size, I can't size down and I have to just go for it. I have to just jump and know that if I do happen to just fall flat on my face, that I do have this job to protect me from any sort of financial difficulties that I would have by losing, a decent amount of money. So just knowing that I'm protected if I do take a big loss definitely should ease that. And I have to remind myself that as well, that it's okay to take a loss. It's okay to take a loss on big share size. It's going to happen. So, but when it does happen, I just have to remember that, my life isn't going to come crumbling down because I took a big loss. Especially since now I have that solid day job. So don't want to make this video too long here, almost at 30 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are still watching this monthly recap, please hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe. Also check out the links down in the description. You guys can join Trade Journal here completely for free for a journaling platform. You can also sign up for the Insider program. So the Insider program, you can actually sign up if you wanted to pay monthly. You can get ad-free priority support and requests, so you can kind of submit your requests on a priority basis above anyone who is free. For anything that you would like to add to Trade Journal, you'll get that priority access for any request that you wanted for an additional $20 a month, and you'll get that ad-free platform version. Also, if you wanted to join Insiders, you can become a part of an exclusive group within Trade Journal. And we do monthly group calls or actually weekly and monthly group calls. We can do one-on-one mentor sessions with the mentors that we have in Trade Journal. There's a few of them that you can learn from. We also have exclusive mentor content from the mentors that we have at Trade Journal, posting exclusive educational videos and posts on a regular basis. You can also analyze their trades as well if they have that privatized. And you can also get access to the insider chat room that is available on the Trade Journal Discord. So you can look into that as well. And we also have a monthly and an annual subscription. But if you're not even interested in paying for a platform, definitely sign up for the free version. It's definitely the best value out there. I know a lot of people like to use TraderView, but if you're a beginner trader, or even if you're an intermediate trader and you want to cut costs for this bear market, for the inflation, if you want trying to cut costs on every single angle, definitely cut costs with TraderView, because you can switch over to Trade Journal for completely free, and it offers the exact same stuff. Literally, it's not a spitting image, but it's a little bit of a different interface, but it offers the exact same details that TraderView does, just for free. So you can sign up for that, the free version, and you can interact with the community as well, completely for free. TraderView does not have a community, so that's also another big bonus that you get with Trade Journal, is that you get access to a community who are all trying to essentially achieve the same things. We all have the same values. We all have similar goals, and it's good to be around people like that, because we can boost each other up and motivate us to achieve that goal. So definitely look into Trade Journal, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right, peace.